Hi, I'm Aaron Garcia. Welcome to episode 12 of Conversations with Aaron, show where I interview local artists, garner a few recommendations from them, and highlight their works. Today's guest will be Zeke. Ooh!
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
what's up, Zeke?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Hey, good. So great to have you. We should do the whole interview just like singing.
Conversations with Aaron, the musical.
The musical, yeah. All right, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Zeke, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, I just want to ask, how are you doing? You doing okay?
I am doing great.
Yeah.
A little tired, but I feel like that's just always.
Oh, yeah, like 24/7. All right, well, tell me about it. You're a musician, absolutely amazing one. We're going to hear some of your songs later. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait
Phenomenal. So just tell me about it. Have you always just been musically like talented and like you've always wanted to make music?
So I've always wanted to make music. I think what was so solidified it was watching Hannah Montana.
Ooh, nice.
But my mom is a songwriter. My dad is a pastor, but he like sings all the time and like makes random songs. And so I've just always been like in love with music. And I like randomly found out that I could connect my Wii microphone to the computer.
Oh.
And that was kind of like the rest of it. Like I was just like, that's how I started making music, was just recording with a Wii mic, and I found like some software that I still use actually
Nice.
online. And that's how I started. I've just always loved writing music and making music.
Okay, I absolutely love that. And when you got into music and whatnot, as a guest comes, when you started making music, what instruments were you just like, you said the mic, so were you just singing at first, or were you introduced to anything else?
So like anyone who knows me knows that I love harmonies, because I believe that like I love using my vocals as instruments. So like I just always like wrote, like I'm a songwriter and a musician. I use like loops to like produce, but I started like trying to play the piano when I was like in elementary school.
Yeah.
And it was just something that I really fell in love with.
Okay, great. And just talking about the songs you do make, I know again we'll hear them later, and you'll give us some context then. But what's your writing process like? When do you just make a beat? Do you come up with, like, are you going through something and you follow that? Does it vary? Do you not have a songwriting process? Am I a fool for asking? Does it vary?
No, you're literally fine. So it's kind of like all over the place.
Okay.
A lot of the times, like everything that you hear from me is like something that I've been through or like have thought of in my head. And well, obviously, because I wrote it. But,
You never know. You never know.
But sometimes it's literally just like me in the car, like humming a melody, or like me with like friends just writing music together. But yeah, like it's really weird. Like it's all over the place. I don't really have like a set process.
Okay,
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And you mentioned, riding in your car with friends or whatever, listening to that. And when people listen to your music, are you hoping for a certain reaction? Are you hoping that they just, digest the lyrics and get a meaning? Are you wanting them to dance? Are you thinking of in other words, are you thinking of the audience while you're producing a record? Or are you just going with the song? Or are you actively like, I want this drop to happen, they're going to do this, that, or?
So as corny as it sounds, I write music for like younger me.
Okay.
So like,
That's
even
not corny
like,
at all.
we'll talk about it later, but like with Not Your Enemy, like I was jamming the out when I wrote that song. And so like, yes, like my mission is to make you move, to make you groove, and to make you feel golden. But in order to make you feel like that, I gotta feel like that. So that's kind of like my outlook on music. The same way that like Michael Jackson and Lady Gaga and Beyonce made me feel when I was a kid, just like wanted to learn every word. That's what I like, kind of like hope that like someone that listens to my music is like, oh, I relate to this a lot, and also like I'm grooving. That's kind of like the mission.
Nice. You mentioned Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga. Who are all of your inspirations? Is this simply them, or do you have like?
I have so many.
So
like I was raised in the church. So like Kiera shared Mary, Tone, but then also like Britney Spears, Kesha, Lady Gaga.
I feel like everybody secretly loves pop music.
No, like same. Yeah. And that's how I just got started in like making music, is like stealing like instrumentals from like pop girls and like making it my own. And so those are like my inspiration,
Okay, I absolutely love that. And I want to ask about, because some of the artists you mentioned, like Britney Spears, Kesha, I remember Kesha, like just being huge, like early 2010s, that sort of thing. I guess I was like middle school or high school. And I would just wonder sometimes, is that something you crave like that sort of like stardom and whatnot, and that like celebrity? Is that something that appeals to you?
It would be nice, but also that's not like what I am. First of all, I'm very awkward. I feel like that amount of attention would be weird. In some sense, I wouldn't mind it. Like, I'm not gonna block my blessing, but really, like, the reason why I wrote music is because I felt very alone as a child, and that's when I started just like expressing myself. And I always say that like I'm really bad at communicating. I'm learning how to. That's why this album is called Communication too. But I am not the best at communicating unless I'm writing. And so when I was a kid, I felt alone, and I wrote music to make myself not feel alone. And also, like, the mission is in, like, I hope that, like, when you listen to, like, songs like Not Your Enemy, or you listen to songs like Love Steams, you're like, oh, wow, like, I hold on to grudges too, or I hold on to this too. But if he can, I can too. And that's kind of like the mission, bro.
Yeah, it's great, and I just love how personal you get with these songs and whatnot, you know, writing for younger stuff. I know I definitely can relate to that, and during those times, if I may ask, you know, when you're, you know, loneliness is that's a thing, like, man, that's, I know, to this day, I feel like I still go through it, like, crazy sometimes, like, man, it's been like 2 days, I haven't even talked to anybody, it's so crazy, but want to ask, like, you know, aside from music, was there any other, or like you making music, were there any particular songs or whatever that you can recall at the top of your head that got you through like any lonely bouts?
Yes. Okay, so
Let me write these down.
Write them.
I need it.
So it's very poppy, but I love Chromatica. That album was actually like really, really, really good. Exit by, I feel like I'm gonna say his name wrong. Samo, I feel like it is. It's Samoht. I wish I would have known. I would have prepared.
It's all good. We'll verify and we'll put in the episode later.
But that album really helps me through a lot. And one of the main reasons that I feel like the way that my music is now, is because of those kind of songs. And I'm trying to think if there's like anything else. I was watching like a lot of like podcasts and listening to like a lot of audiobooks, which we'll talk about later. But that's like a really good album. I feel like everyone should listen to it, and you should listen to it from front to back. If you don't listen to it all together, it's not going to make sense at all.
I absolutely love that. That's great and fantastic. I know I have my like, you know, comfort music I go to and gets me through some hard times. That's absolutely great and poignant. I want to ask you now about like performing your music. You know, as we'll see, you know, I've had the chance to like see some of your live performances. It's really great the way you like get it. Like, you know, you like just really feel it and you're moving around and whatnot. So I want to ask, like, is that something that happens naturally? Were you always just like naturally good at like, you know, moving your body and singing at the same time, or was it something like the more you perform, that's something you have to like train yourself to do?
So it's like a little bit of both. I'm a Leo, so I always think I'm like the star of the show, which is fun.
I have so many people like mentioning like astrology. I'm like, I just need to get like an expert one episode and we'll just talk about that.
I don't understand it either, but I do know that all the Leos in my lives were like main characters, so we fight for like the main character spot, but I always win.
Such a Leo thing to say, the irony.
But I've always like performed. Like I said, my mom, like, first of all, my parents are pastors, so we would always like perform for plays and stuff. And I always wanted the like solos, and I just always loved the idea of entertaining people and the idea of putting smiles on people's faces. And so I've always wanted to perform. I will say that like, I feel like I'm getting better at performing because, number one, I watch a lot of like YouTube videos of like tours of like Michael Jackson or like Lady Gaga, and also like practice. So like sometimes like if I eat a little bit too much, I am out of breath. So I have to like practice dancing and singing, and something that I felt like I wasn't gonna have to do when I was younger, but I realized that like, in order to like get better at something, you can't just expect it to happen. You have to kind of like do it over and over. So thank you for the opportunity, because this is like another way for me to like get better at my craft. Thank you.
Already absolutely fantastic. And you did mention, you know, practicing a bit. So is that, what can I ask? Like, what your practice entails? Like, do you have like certain choreography that you're trying to do, or is it just like a matter of like I'm performing it?
I want to do choreography so bad, but no. I think really what I practice is just being able to move and sing at the same time, because a lot of the times, a lot of the songs that I make are high energy, which is like great, but it's also terrible if like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So it's like that is one of the things that I'm even still focusing on, is like stage presence and that kind of thing. That's something that I'm trying to take serious now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's like practicing is just like, for me, like sometimes like I'll just sing like a whole album front to back, or like just like do a couple of warm-ups, or like go on YouTube and like watch like some lessons or like some warm-up exercises. And shout out to Lady Winters, because she like,
oh yeah, Lady Winters,
I love her. She actually like taught me some things, and she's like very serious about her voice.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it like made me like, I was like, oh wow, I'm not like doing enough. Like,
I love how your voice slightly changed.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not doing enough. And so like a lot of the techniques that she's shown me, like I've been like trying to put in practice too as well.
Nice. I still love that. And you mentioning the idea of stage presence and whatnot, is that because you know I'm a musician too. You know, like yes, like, Aaron, we haven't heard. I know I'm getting there, but like that's something I really never thought about until I started getting into certain bands. Like again, like I always bring up like Led Zeppelin of sorts, because I see a lot of bands like duplicating them, like their image, right? Like their little bell-bottom pants, that sort of thing. Just the image of like a band like Guns N' Roses or whatever. The hair metal, that's the entire scene, and just image and whatnot. So is that something that you're working on or doing, like crafting an image of Zeke, not just a musician, but like an actual like presence or like visual? Is that something that you do?
So like, I'm just keep interrupting you.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I was rambling, so I needed to be cut off.
So a lot of the artists that I like love, they have like a specific like, and it changes like every era, and I feel like that's what I want to do. But they tell a story through like not just the music, but also fashion and visuals and art. And I think that is something that I have just always wanted to do, and something that I am always trying to do, because I feel like I am a visual learner, and I feel like that has always helped me get more interested in things. And so like even like today, like I felt a little nerdy, but I was like, I'm gonna dress up. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be extra, because like
why not?
This is like, who knows when I'll be able to do this again. And that's kind of how I have to like take every show, and that's what I've been trying to like implement, and like even performing. Like I had a show for the album called The Communication Ball, and I had like an outfit change, and it was like I don't know why it's so dirty, but I've always wanted to just like go behind stage and be like Britney Spears, take off my thing while there's like music playing.
It's Zeke, bitch.
And that's literally how it was. But my thing is I never know when I'm gonna headline my own show again. I never know like what's gonna be my last performance. I don't know what's gonna happen next. So every chance that I get, I want to make sure that I'm top notch with everything. Which when that comes, like if I can do visuals, I'm gonna do that. If I can dress up, I'm gonna do that. If I'm gonna be extra, because this is literally like, this has always been my dream, and so why not live it?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a very great point. I need to start following that advice too. It's like,
it took a
I'm
long
gonna be
time.
on a diet. Yeah, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna get this cheeseburger, whatever. Nah.
Oh no, I still eat terrible. Uber Eats and like me are like best friends, which is like wild.
It's like I got the plug, Uber Eats. I absolutely love that. And so when I ask now, so you have this album, Communication, absolutely great. So is that currently like your baby? In other words, like is this kind of all you're about right now, or are you like looking forward to anything else, or like what's currently your focus at this point in your life?
I don't know. It's all over the place. So like,
and that'll do it for today's episode.
Communication is my baby. I feel like that with all of my albums, though. It's like, I always say this is so funny, but like, it's like when you work on an album, it's like you're pregnant. Like obviously I'm not pregnant, but like you give birth to this baby and it's kind of ugly, but you still love it,
Looks like an old man.
And so like dead ass though, like it's an ugly baby. And even though it's an ugly baby, it's still your baby.
Yeah.
And I am super defensive about it. Like, so right now that I just released an album, I like don't know what to do with my life because I'm like, I'm not really like, I'm performing now, which is really cool, but it's like, I am just so ready to like start working on new music and like coming up with new concepts. Like that is so cool to me. And so like, I'm doing a lot of like, not a lot of performances, but I'm performing more. And I just really want to give communication the love that it deserves because I like put a lot into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am already started making music already. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not like making any promises because Jesus Christ. But yeah, I started like writing. I actually wrote a song today. So
Oh, nice.
it was fun.
I really love that. And I'm surprised I haven't asked already, but which album is Communication? Is it your third, fourth?
It's my third album.
Third album?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Tell me the progress you've seen compared to the other two. Like what have you seen change between albums?
So
Beginning, I
Dear
guess, with the
Golden Boy. So I'm an interlude king. I think this album is literally the only album where there's not really an interlude, and it's like 2 interludes on this record.
You're referring to Communication?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Communication. Dear Golden Boy is my first album. I think I was just really insecure and wrote that album because I wanted to feel golden, which is like the first song off that record. I love that record. Mixing, mastering wise, terrible.
Oh,
absolutely ass. But I love that record because it meant a lot to me during that time, and that's like when I started believing in myself to make music. Kryptonite, great album. I love it.
Album?
It's low key. I must say, like, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but
this is what
Chef's
the show's
Kiss.
about. No, it's not
Chef's
toot
Kiss.
that shit, dude.
Communication was Kryptonite was a really sad. It came out of like Kryptonite. It means like. Loneliness used to be my kryptonite, but tonight I think I might be fine.
Dang.
And so it's an album about like losing a lot of friends and also COVID, and so I was literally alone in the house. But I love that album a lot. Actually, the only thing that I will say is that it wasn't like loud enough.
No.
Like, you know, when you hear it and you're just like, man, I wish I would have did this. Like, I think like a couple of like mixing things I wish I could do, but also it was like way better than like Dear Golden Boy. And Communication, it's great. Obviously there's some flaws. Like, I'm not perfect. I do everything by myself, but I think that it's like my best work to date, and I hope like I only get better. So
nice. And man, you doing all of that by yourself, and again, like to me, I know like you do the music, so probably to you it's like, oh, it seems simple. To me, it just sounds very intricate or whatever. We'll hear later, like the amount of tracks you have and whatnot. It just sounds great. And so, I mean, first off, I applaud you for that. Even if, like I said to you, it's like easy to me.
Yeah.
I'm in awe about it. So, congrats on that. And I just want to ask, like, is that you mixing and mastering by yourself or whatever? Because man, that's a lot of stuff to do. Everything and
it's
like
giving. I'm cheap. I do not like spending my own money. I'll spend anybody else's money. Like it's nothing. But for me, it was just the easiest way to like be able to like I have so many ideas and I don't want to keep them to myself.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it myself and. Hopefully, like I won't have to forever, but
nice.
I'm also a control freak too. So it just like it's like hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got you. I'm the same way too, because as a solo artist, it's like I have all these ideas, and it's like, well, I don't know. I guess I'm opening up a little more the idea of collaborating, and some things, as I grow older, I'm like, there's just some things I'm not good at. I genuinely need other people to like help me with certain things.
Yeah.
So I love that. So are you actively looking for others like in any capacity, whether it be like a band, a producer, like, or are you just kind of like sticking to yourself and worrying about this album?
So I will say this, that my next ventures, like whatever, like hopefully the future will be bright. I would love to like work with anybody. This next era, I feel like that's coming up is really just about just creating and having fun. And I think like with communication, especially, like I learned that I don't always have to be by myself, as long as I like speak my mind, surround myself with people that, we're on the same frequency. And so now I'm excited about it. I feel like I'm starting to find my tribe. So I would love to like work with like anyone, like musicians, photographers, like anyone. I just like want to make cool things. And so like, if you want to collaborate with me, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I love that. And you mentioned photographers being among the people you're looking to work with. I want to ask, because following you on Instagram, which all of y'all should do also immediately. But I want to ask, like, how is that just all your head? Like all the like, I love like the artwork you have, the photos. Like, are you paying someone to do that? Or are you like, do you have a camera, or how are you?
My best friend Lauren Sultan, I'm gonna give
Shout
her
out.
the full name because she deserves it. I can literally tell her, I want something blue, and like I have this, and like I'll just like randomly shout things, and she's like, oh, okay, cool, and we get everything that we want.
Nice.
And so that is one person that I like trust wholeheartedly, like with anything that I make. She has done all of my music videos, Golden, Habit, Fade. She has done it perfectly, effortlessly, and I love you. Shout out to Lauren. But some of the pictures, like the fisheye thing, I just like bought a fisheye off of Amazon.
Nice.
But all of the professional pictures and all of like, she's like, I call her my co-creative director because she literally will sit there and listen to everything that I have to say visually and creatively. And so without her, the image and the brand that we're trying to build together would not be possible. So, yeah.
Absolutely. One more time, her name was?
Lauren Sultan. It's
Lauren
Lauren
Sultan.
on Instagram with 7 R's because of something about One Direction.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a One Direction stan. She loves
nice.
Harry Styles. Harry, if you're watching this, marry Lauren.
He's like, all right, but like
I bet.
just like that. It's a little great, and talking, about social media a bit, and so is that, because you're making your music and on Instagram. Of course, to me, everything looks like a sizable audience because I only have like 5 followers. It's getting up there, but like, it looks like you have a couple thousand. It looks like, and how did you come to like amass that? Like, was it just like sharing, like?
To be quite honest, I don't know. So I've had Instagram for a really long time. Like back when it was like Farmstagram, like that was like a whole hashtag thing.
Oh, man.
I've had it since like I was in 8th grade, 7th grade, like somewhere around there.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess I've just never really thought about it. I do know that like because I've been doing like shows a lot, like I'll meet people and I've been like passing out these like like QR codes, or you can like follow me everywhere. But honestly, I don't know. I never really thought about it like that.
Okay, nice. And have you seen like your audience? Like, have you engaged with your audience, like your listeners, like at shows? Like, how was that? Are you like speaking with like after shows? Like,
so
how
like
that?
playing shows, especially in Denton, has been crazy. Denton has the most supportive people ever, and so that is cool. Just being able to like hug people and like listen to them play too, because a lot of the times the people that are watching the show are the people that are playing, and so just watching them play has just been really cool. And that's like how I've engaged, is just playing shows and just talking with them and like hoping that they understand me, and also like understanding that like if you don't like it, it's not for you. Like I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. But just finding that community is really cool, especially in Denton. So that's how I've been engaging.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you can add me to that list or whatever. I need to start going out to shows more.
Come on.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much, Zeke. And so I just want to ask now, we kind of already touched on this earlier or whatever, but I like always trying to like specifically put at the end. So right now, what can you expect from you, like near future, far future? You have this album, like what goes beyond that? What are your dreams and goals? Like, do you have like a set image in mind that you're like, that's what I'm going for?
So I'm gonna do like big manifestation. If it's possible, I dream big, but I would love to do like a visual album or like something for like, not even just communication, for like a lot of my favorite songs that I've written that I felt like did not get its justice because I was like very insecure about music for some reason. That I also really do want to go on tour soon. Like I want to make it happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I would love to like do like a little Texas tour like on the weekends. Like,
Nice.
So that's kind of something that I'm looking into. I really want a band, but honestly, I don't know. Whatever the Lord lets me do, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit.
Heck yeah, I really enjoyed it. Well, thank you so much, Zeke. I think I genuinely feel like those, like the goals you have, the sky being the limit, that does not seem impossible at all when it comes to your music. You're so very talented. You're so very kind.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna take a quick break. No, I mean that sincerely. We need to go for that or whatever. Like, sometimes like, yeah, why can't it be us? Like, why can't it be everybody else? Like, yeah, we're here, but it's like, why not? Like, why not think big? Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I always try to tell people, like, no, just dream big. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. So, thank you.
No problem.
I feel so much closer to you than before, which is obvious because I didn't know you
love
before.
me some Aaron. That's crazy.
And Zeke, I tell you. But all right, no, well, thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
Heck yeah, and well, I think now we're gonna recommend some stuff to the audience. Are you ready for that?
Yes, sir.
Bam, let's do. Where's my list? Oh, wait, here it is. Awesome. Bam. Yeah. 6 recommendations. Let me see. Ooh, these keys are bothering me. Okay. I was all like, ooh. I was trying to
Everything in your pocket, yeah.
Yeah. Let me get my wallet. I don't know, just something about the production just puts me in a weird space, like this sort of nostalgic thing. But it's not the content of the song itself. It's simply the production of it. I can't explain it. I really can't.
It just moves you.
Yeah. I'm making it all weird. I could have just said it moves me.
It's fine.
But no, you got it. That is such a great song. Usher's vocals are phenomenal on it, and just. That early 2000s, like R&B stuff, is just something that's always gonna have a special place in my heart because I was like 5 or 6 when it was coming out. I was born '95, so I would have been like 6 or 7 if this is 2002. And yeah, so check out "You Got It Bad" by Usher, an absolutely phenomenal song. And give Usher a chance to check out "My Boo," his collaboration with Alicia Keys. "Let It Burn," I think that's what it's called. Check out Usher.
It was so funny. I just remember like watching Fuse all the time, and they would play
Fuse, yeah.
Oh my God, that song. And we're like,
awesome. Yeah, that was my
didn't
first.
age well, I don't think.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that's my first recommendation. What is your first recommendation?
So right now I am heavily obsessed with Renaissance, the album by Beyonce that just came out.
Ooh.
I've been listening to it nonstop. It is an amazing piece of art. The album is literally essentially one long, well, that sounds terrible. It's like one long song because they're all like put together and they're put together perfectly, meticulously. It's just amazing. The production is great. I think it's one of my favorite albums by Beyonce, which I might be like, stepping on some toes here. But it's a great album. I think that it's just fun to see like artists that are well established still experimenting. And that's all that album is like experimentation. And I really dig it a lot.
Yeah, Beyonce is obviously, I remember like Destiny's Child or whatnot, but I just feel like she's transcended like mere just like pop star.
Yeah.
She's like a true artist or whatever. And
Yes,
absolutely.
she's crazy good. I love her.
Heck yeah. Man, they'll be saying that about Zeke someday.
I
Like, Zeke
hope
is just
so.
crazy
I
good.
hope
Like,
so.
woo-wee. Nice. Well, thank you so much. So, Renaissance by Beyonce.
Yes.
Alrighty, y'all. Now, on to my second recommendation. It's going to be another song. This one is All My Life by Casey and JoJo. Woo, Aaron bringing out the songs today. This is, I feel like it's pretty popular. I don't know if the younger people will know it or whatever, but this is just such a great song. I can never forget if there's like 2 versions of it. One where it's like regular, but then one that's a little more wedding based. I may be misremembering, being a kid, but just everything, baby, and then when just the way it starts out, and then once the piano comes in, it's so recognizable. It's so recognizable to the point where like even if you haven't heard this song, something about the piano would just be so familiar to you, and I think you'll just latch onto it. It's so great, and the piano comes and just when. I will never fight. And just like when the vocals come and it's so great, and just frankly it's beautiful. And all these songs, just remembering being like 5 or 6 or even younger listening to these, man, they just really have a special place in my heart. While I was writing these down, I'm thinking sometimes the idea that people grow older and like certain songs that are bops or whatever are great can potentially be lost to time if those people who grew up with it don't remember it. And so I just think back to like, man, how many more great songs are there out there that maybe weren't like overtly popular that people just don't know about because time has forgotten them. And I don't want to do that. And so especially with this song, all of these songs really, but really All My Life by Casey and JoJo, like phenomenal song. Do check it out. I highly recommend. I recommend all these songs because this segment's called recommendations. But "On My Life" by Casey and JoJo, phenomenal song. Yeah. What is your second recommendation, Zeke?
In honor of like local music, especially in Denton, my favorite local band, based out of Denton, Curl, and they don't have any music out right now. So it's like it's something that you have to see, and they're just first of all they're mostly all African American, so like go off, but also just their energy and the way that they play. They have a song called "Baby You're a Star," and it's chef's kiss.
Nice.
And I want them to release something very soon. But Curl, such an amazing band, and I love them so much.
Curl band.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I need to get more.
Yeah, we could go to a show. I think they're like playing at Andy's in like September. So.
Oh, and that's at the square where you said.
Yeah, it's on the square. So yeah, come with me.
Heck yeah. Get some free stuff. You like. It's like, well, Aaron,
No, I'll buy a ticket.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, yeah, well, thank you for recommending bands. Yeah, I love, like, you know, maybe there'll be a featured guest. Curl, who knows?
Hey, Curl, come on.
Hey, nice. Thank you so much for that recommendation.
No problem.
All right, now we're going to be on to our third. Man, this song, my third recommendation, man, I'm Cool by Gwen Stefani. Yes. Great song. And, like, just hearing that opening instrumentation just takes me back to just, you know, being a kid and I, you know, knowing, you know, finding out about love and whatnot. It comes at a very transitional phase in my life, you know, where I was, you know, a kid becoming like a teen or whatever, and, you know, my first bouts with like sort of insecurity and whatnot, and, you know, stuff with my family, you know, my parents, like, you know, just recognizing like, you know, their divorce or whatever, and like understanding that. And, you know, the song itself, I don't want to like misspeak or like, you know, speak wrongly, but I think if I'm not wrong, Gwen Stefani wrote it about like a partner of hers who they had separated, but they were still cool, hence the name of the song. Yeah. I may be wrong, but in any case, that's what I take from this song. And just no matter what, because that's how it is, you know, we all go through obstacles with relationships, you know, whether it be like, you know, a partner, soulmate or whatever, you know, just a friend, family member, but, you know, no matter the obstacles, you know, we're still cool or whatever. And this song is absolutely great. And another one, I'm pretty sure once you hear it, you'll be like, oh, this song. And yeah, it's amazing.
I love me some Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, oof, man. I almost put No Doubt, but I corrected myself. I was, no, it's Gwen Stefani, not No Doubt.
No Doubt is great, though.
What is your third recommendation, Zeke?
So on a mental health kick, this year has I've learned a lot about myself, and started loving myself. And a book that helped me, this is like an audiobook because I hate, well, it's not that I hate reading, it's just that I don't have the attention span to do so. But it's a book called You Are a Badass by Jen Serino, if I'm saying her name right. And it is a really good book. It helps me kind of like go past my bullshit, a lot of my like very ego bullshit. And it's really good. And I feel like anyone that's just like, even if you're just like, oh, I feel like really good about myself, but I need that extra push to like do what I want to do in life, that is a really good book. And it helps me a lot. So.
I need all the help I can get. Because especially with, I was doing okay, but then 2020 hit and I just...
A killer.
New song 2020.
2020 was hell.
Featuring Aaron crying in the background. Awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, because, you know, mental health is always something I want to like promote. And yeah, so thank you so much for that recommendation.
No problem.
Thanks. And all right, on to our fourth recommendation now. And this song is, I'm saying the same thing for everyone. Like, oh, now this song is great, but this song is absolutely one of my all-time favorites. It's Every Time by Britney Spears. Man, I remember when this song came out too. Like, I'm glad Britney Spears is, you know, just because when this song came out, I remember it. You know, she was always in the media, but I feel like around this time, I just remember seeing where it was all this drama that she was involved with, and I don't know. So, you know, especially this song in comparison to like, you know, her popular stuff. You know, like, you know, Baby One More Time.
One more time.
Yeah, like it's such a stark contrast. So it's just a piano and her vocals, and I feel like in a way it's a precursor, somewhat of a precursor to you know, like Exile by Taylor Swift, one of my all-time favorite songs too. Obviously, I'm not saying Taylor Swift neither, so I'm just saying like it's similar. It gives me like a similar vibe, and yeah, this song is just so great, and I don't know, it's one of those songs that like I listen to it for me, yes, but I also listened to her like for her, just like again thinking about all the chaos that was happening when she released this song, and I don't know, I'm just so glad, like you said, like she seems to be free or whatever. I know there's some, but Britney Spears is, man, if you weren't there during her heyday, like you do not know what stardom is. Like, man, I can.
Man, there's a good like YouTube commentary like video about her, and it's like forever long. And it's about every single era, and it kind of like explains like when she released this album, what was going on, how it was received, what she was doing on tour, and it's excellent. So if you're like a Britney stan or even a pop culture stan, you'll like it. Britney Spears is an icon. That's crazy.
Definitely, and man, yeah. So every time by Britney Spears, check it out, and check out that YouTube channel. We'll try to find it.
Mila Tequila.
Mila
I think
Tequila.
that's the YouTube channel. I watched that. Actually, I've like watched that video more than once. So
No, I'm gonna check that out. All right, secret recommendation.
that's good.
And then
That's
it'll be there.
good.
All right, cool. Well, that's my fourth recommendation. Zeke, what is your fourth?
So my friend Dijon, who is a DJ, Bass for Your Face. I know that I'm like name dropping, but whatever.
Hey, I love that's what the show's for. Yeah. You're secretly getting me more viewers too. Yes. Keep bringing them.
So he put me onto this song that I just like cannot get out of my head for like the past few weeks, and it's called "How Do I Let Go" by Dennis Fair. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sorry. And KT Brooks. And that is the music that I want to make next. Like it is so fun. It's like it's a long song, but it's like a house song. So there's like radio edits and stuff too. But it's amazing and it's very catchy. And like once you hear it, you're up on your feet and moving. And I love that song so much. So shout out to Dijon for putting me on. That song is great. It's an amazing song.
Man, I love that stuff. I love just coming across like new music that's so inspiring, and it just feels like my life was leading to me coming across.
Yes, yes.
Awesome thing. I cannot wait to check out all your recommendations. Goodness.
It's gonna be good. You're gonna dance your ass off. I will tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I need to lose some weight, so I need some dancing to get myself.
Same, sis. We'll dance together.
Oh, are we done yet?
Are we done yet?
All right, cool. Thank you so much for that recommendation.
No
Zeke.
problem,
All right,
man.
now we're down to our last two. This is exciting. All right, y'all. My fifth recommendation, I'm going to cheat out a little. It's going to be two, but it's going to be by the same artist. You know, all my 90s, or mid-90s kids are going to recognize this song. And I guess it's sort of a meme now, but whatever. I love these two songs. It's Angel and It Wasn't Me by Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't no, it wasn't me. Which is an actual court thing now. It's like, oh, they're pleading the Shaggy case, and it's like, oh, okay, they're just denying everything. Anywho, that's a whole other story. Yeah, Angel and It Wasn't Me. Phenomenal songs. Again, it came out when I was like 5 or 6. I just remember summers always hearing them somewhere. Like we're like out like playing basketball or just like at a rec center or something. You'd always hear these songs, and It Wasn't Me is probably a little more popular just because, again, the thematic elements of it and how it's sort of like a meme, oh, it wasn't me. Like, people probably know that, but not even the song. But Angel is absolutely great. And, because for the longest time, I didn't know who Shaggy was when I was, like, hearing it. Like, I was like, is Shaggy singing the chorus or is he doing the verse?
I didn't
He's
know
doing
that
the
was
verse.
him. So I was telling you this. I heard that song at Tom's the other day, and I've heard the song. I did not know that was Shaggy.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, no, the same, because I knew, like, I think he has another, Shaggy has another. I'm not huge on Shaggy. Like, I don't know a whole lot. I just love
He's
these
the
two songs.
Shaggy connoisseur.
Right? Like, Something Bombastic is a popular song by
Something
him.
bombastic.
Yeah,
is
that
the
one. And so I heard
fantastic.
that and I recognized the voice. I was like, oh, so an Angel and It Wasn't Me. He's singing those, but I forget the fellow that he's singing with on the super wides. The vocals for the chorus on each of these songs. But they're just how they're able to work together and create these two songs is absolutely great. I think these are just, again, that early 2000s sound is just absolutely phenomenal to me. And check out both of these. You can't just listen to one. You have to you have to know both of them. It's a two-part deal. And so check out these two songs by Shaggy. They're absolutely great. And
Great.
Zeke, I'm so extra with these. I'm trying to. What is your fifth recommendation?
So my fifth recommendation is I kind of wanted to just explain my world and like show my world. And so I love podcasts. And I love like nerdy podcasts. So
Those
like
are the best ones.
honorable mention, like Serial Podcast, like that's a great podcast, like the whole thing. But a podcast that I've listened to like more than 3 times is the Rabbit Hole podcast by the NY Times, in New York Times. And it's a great like it just kind of explains how like this, like, it starts off like it's like I want to say like 8 episodes, and it starts off with like this kid who's like at work, and all he does is watches like YouTube videos, and he becomes like an extreme like conservative, and then like honestly I can't really remember what happened. I need to listen to it again, but he ends up like realizing that the algorithm is like just showing him all of this conservative stuff, so he starts like trying to like go back, and like he ends up like being like super liberal, and it's just talking about how like the internet, especially like with algorithms, they are very one-sided all the times.
Oh yeah.
It's just a great podcast, and I love it a lot. And it's it will, number one, it will make you rethink like, ooh, let me like get out of my algorithm, because like I don't know if you're like this, but like on YouTube, like I'll just click the first thing that's like on the first page.
Yeah.
But it makes me like it'll make you be like, oh girl, let me like find something new.
Yeah.
And it's a really good podcast. I feel like people will really enjoy it.
I absolutely love podcasts. Or whatever. They're just so. Man, when I'm at the gym or if I'm out and about, like, I mean, I still listen to music, but podcasts almost dominate now. Like, I love it. They're so great.
You get lost in it, especially like exposés. You get lost in it, and it's just like drama. You're like the whole time.
Drama involving me? No. Drama involving someone else?
Yes. Give it to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that fifth recommendation. And alrighty, it's our last recommendation.
Yes, sir.
So spooky. And alrighty, also my sixth and final recommendation is probably, of all these songs, it's probably the most recent one. Takes me back to my middle school days. It's Nothing on You by Bob. Ooh. Man, to this day I can hear it in flashback to like 2009 or 8 or whenever it came out, and just, I don't know, I always envision being like in the back seat of like my mom's car, like, you know, driving at night while this song is playing, and just so great. And similar to how I said the Usher, You Got It Bad by Usher gives me a vibe, so does this one. I don't know, I just think of like October through December nights driving or whatever, and it's so great. So I can listen to the song and it just taps into like that feeling, and I just feel so great no matter where I'm at. Like no matter what point in my life I'm at, no matter where I'm, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever, I can listen to the song and I just find so much comfort. I think of my youth, I think of all that's changed since then, and sometimes I can be a little sad, like how much time has passed. But then it's
yo, damn, I'm getting old.
Oh my God, dude. This song came out when? Double digits? What?
That's so funny.
But it's
But
so
also such a great song.
Yeah,
Such a great song.
It's so great. Nothing on You. And
Beautiful
as I get copyright
girls all over. Oh yeah, yikes.
I say that as if I'm even a good singer. YouTube's gonna be like, you didn't understand.
Actually, you know what's wild? I know this is like off topic, but on Instagram now, I got copyright for my own song. And I thought that was like so annoying. I'm like, Instagram is becoming hell, okay? But that's a whole nother thing.
That sounds like a podcast episode, like a true crime. Man,
Why is Instagram going downhill? Follow us on this 12-part
and then the
podcast.
thumbnail has like red arrows and people pointing at. That's great. Yeah, so that's gonna be my sixth and final recommendation today. Nothing on You by Bob, an absolutely great song. And Zeke, would you like to finish this out?
So I have been really obsessed with like art, mainly because like I'm finding people that like paint and stuff. And I mean, it's a very like basic artist. Like I feel like everyone's gonna roll their eyes when I say this, but I'm obsessed with Keith Haring. His art like reminds me of just like love and just community, and that's a really big thing for me right now. And so I've just been like, I literally like bought stickers. I've been thinking about buying these pillows that I found on Amazon. Like I'm like, I might need to stop. But I really enjoy like him as an artist, and I like watch like a couple of like documentaries on YouTube, and I love what he stands for. And so yeah, Keith Haring, if you like go on Amazon, like buy a Keith Haring shirt, buy the Uno. There's like a Uno set of Keith Haring stuff, and I'm like, I want him so much, but
I love that.
It's giving shopaholic. Yikes!
I got the Keith Haring lunchbox. Awesome, thank you. I love just like arts, and like you said, like it's sort of being about love. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
it's just so positive and happy. So thank you. All of your recommendations are absolutely great, and
yours too.
Thank you. Yeah, I had some.
You had some bangers.
Yeah, I'm gonna be listening to some good music tonight. Ooh. Yeah, well, thank you so much for those recommendations,
No
Zeke.
problem.
I already love them. I know our audience will.
I hope y'all do.
Heck yeah. Well, I think we're going to take a quick little break, and then when we come back, you'll be performing some of your songs. You're excited for that?
I'm so excited.
Woo, and I know y'all are, I can hear y'all's keyboards trembling and excited. All right, y'all, well, stick around, you guys. Everyone going to miss it. Boom. And we're back. Thank you so much for sticking around, y'all. Alrighty, Zeke, you're still with us. Thank you so much. And I think you're going to perform some of your songs now.
Yes, sir.
3, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so
all of
excited.
them off of my new album, Communication.
Communication, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, the first song I believe you're going to play is Another Try.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
All right, well, before we see you perform, do you want to give us some context? Tell us a little bit about it, like when you wrote it and that sort of thing?
So I wrote this maybe a year ago. I was crushing on this guy, which is yay, so fun. I have no idea where he is now, so kudos.
Oh, man.
But
We'll get the song out there. That was for me.
but the truth remains, I feel like I am a hopeful romantic.
Heck yeah.
And I will always give love another try, no matter how many times I get burnt. I will always give it another try because I believe in love and I love randomly. So
I love that too. I'm on the same boat. All right, well, thank you so much for that, y'all. And here's Another Try by Zeke.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Lay it on me, your secrets and your flaws. I just wanna know you, even the scary parts. For me, love wasn't really on the table, never was from the start. But tonight I might consider it a letting down my guard. You ain't gotta worry about nothing, I'ma keep you company. Let me know your inside discussions, or at least a summary. And baby, there's something about you, no, I can't describe. But if you ever ask the question, I might give it another try. I might give it another try. Cause you ain't gotta worry about nothing. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. You ain't gotta worry about nothing, yeah. I usually try to guard my heart, cause I never know how to act. I pick some battles and that's a fact. So if you're different, prove me that. I wanna be the first in the morning, wanna see you late at night, because you seem to break down on walls that I've had almost all of my life. I'ma keep you company. Let me know your inside discussion, yeah. At least a summary. No, I can't describe. Ever ask a question, give it just another try. Cause you ain't gotta worry about nothing, yeah. You ain't gotta worry about nothing, yeah. I'm about to give it just another more try. I'm about to give it just another more try. I'm about to give it just another more try. I'm about to give it just a little more time, yeah. Another more try, yeah, yeah. Huh. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, yeah. Cause you ain't gotta worry about nothing. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That song was so great, Zeke. Oh my goodness. Hey, absolutely amazing. So Another Try, absolutely great, phenomenal song. You said,
Thank you.
describing its background, you said it was, I guess, somewhat autobiographical, somewhat
Yes.
pertaining to that. So just tell me about it, because all of your songs, they just have like such like great beats, such like instrumentation. So I just want to ask, like with this particular song, what was its origin? Did the story come first? Did the music come that you see another try and you're like, I like those two words, let me make a song? Well, what were its origins?
Honestly, I was just like crushing really hard. And so like I make beats. So I made the beat and I was just at home and I really love this song called I don't know if I'm saying it right. Guileless, I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
Probably
but
Guileless,
it's like a reggaeton song and I just really love the feel of it. And I couldn't get the melody out of my head. And so one night, like after work, like I was kind of just like chilling in my house and I was like, man, like if this guy would like ever ask me like the question, like, would you be mine? I would say yes. Like I would give it another try no matter how many times like it's never happened for me. I still believe in love enough to just be like, okay, cool, let's do it. So yeah, this is the problem being a hopeful romantic.
Hopeless romantic?
Yes.
Nah,
I try to say hopeful, not hopeless, because I watched some random reel, you know how they like they like advertise the heck out of them, but like it made a lot of sense if you say hopeful or hopeless, then like that just means like you're never gonna get it. But if you're hopeful, like you know that it'll come to you, and I know it will. It just takes time.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, similar to like glass half full, glass half empty.
Yeah.
So all about perspective. I enjoy that. So now I want to talk about the song to really break this down, just because I'm a musician, but I do like guitar, bass, and when I hear stuff that's like what you do, it just sounds so like complicated. I'm like, man, how do you even start that? So breaking down the song, so the intro, I just like the instrumentation. It sort of sets up like, I don't know, like a little water fill or something that I got. It was really great and like therapeutic to my ears. So I want to ask, like, how are you making those sounds and whatnot? And is it trial and error, or are you just so in sync with your creations that you're able to like just go for it? So
like mixing communication and mixing the song, especially, this was the first song that I wrote for communication. And well, first of all, I will say I use loops, splice. Like anyone that's trying to make music out there, splice is a really fun, easy way to like make music, and you can just make it your own. And so I had heard the synth, and it was like originally for like a hip hop song or whatever. Yeah. And I just loved it, and I kept singing like, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. I kept singing over, so I was like, that has to be the intro, because like for me, like when you're in love with someone, or like when you give someone your all, like you really don't have to worry about anything in the beginning. Like the honeymoon phase is like the best, because you're just like la 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 la, I'm in love. It's the best. And I wanted to like capture that in a sense. Like I wanted to capture like the song is literally me not worrying about anything, just like letting things happen. Like some of the words are like, lay it on me, your secrets and your flaws. Like, but like that was like for real. Like I was willing to take on anything just to be like, oh, like we're together type. And so that song is like really, I love that song so much.
Yeah,
and,
it's so great.
Yeah.
Nice, I love it. And when you're recording your vocals, because with a lot of your songs it's prominent. I say a lot as if I had your entire discography, but on this one, I love like on specifically like with the I'm assuming like the second chorus, it sounds like you're harmonizing, or I know you're doing the chorus, and then we have your like vocals sort of on top. And so how many vocal tracks do you record? Like, does it vary?
Honestly, it's literally just like however I feel. So I am a king. Like I love Michael Jackson, aka The Glove. Nice. I am like very inspired by like Beyonce, Tinashe, Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, and they all just like have these crazy harmonies. Yeah. So like when I make a song, I'll literally like record like 20 times same harmony. And so it's really just like endless, unlimited harmony.
That's just whatever sounds good to you. Yeah. All right, dig that. And when you perform it live, as you just did for us, it was absolutely amazing. Are you usually solo, or do you ever have like a band with you, or like a backing band, anything like that?
So I've been solo for a really long time, only because I'm a control freak.
Nice.
But right now I have a drummer. His name is Bodie, and I love him so much.
Bodie.
I love him so much, and so right now we're kind of like building up to like a band. So if anyone's interested, like, hit me up.
As I point out myself, because I'm a musician.
Hey, but like, we'll talk later. But right now we're just building up a band, and Yeah, so it's hard to let go because these songs are like my babies.
Yeah.
So finding people that I can trust like fully to, get into the groove of the songs has been really cool, and I'm very lucky to have Mr. Bodie around. He's been a really cool addition to like a team that I'm trying to collect.
Okay, I absolutely love that or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you're already a great solo artist, but I can only imagine like, you in front of like a huge band, like that's gonna be great.
It's so good.
I love it. So now, with your lyrics or whatever, your writing process towards that, I know you said you're just sort of in love, so I feel like it perhaps came naturally, but some of these are really poignant lyrics. I want to be the first thing in the morning, if I can read my handwriting, okay. If you ever ask the question, I might give it another try and whatnot. So when you write these lyrics and whatnot, do they flow naturally, or are you constantly like, oh, blah, blah, blah? Like when you're in an emotional state, like, thinking about love, does it make it easier to write compared to like just if you're trying to force something else?
So this song was easy for me to write because I was like head over heels. So like it depends. Sometimes I really have to like think about like be intentional with what I was trying to say. But with this record, I think I finished most of it in like one night. Obviously, like there was a lot of editing to go with it, but that was one of the songs where it's just like, this is what I want. And it was just like journaling almost, like all it, like if you listen to any of my music, everything that I sing about, everything that I write about has happened. And so
I love that.
I was literally living Another Try before it like came to what it is.
Got you. And if approximately how long do you suppose that the entire creation of this was? Was it a matter of like weeks, days, months?
Oh, it was like months.
Months? Okay.
Months. Only because like at first I was trying to fit it on my last album and it didn't work. And I was already like trying to put that out. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, and then I revisited it, and then I would like run away from it. And then I was like heartbroken for a little bit, so I didn't want to listen to it. And then I kind of went back and was like, oh, like first of all, I love like the hook. Like it's one of my favorite songs I think that I've written, and I'll probably say that about all of them.
Yeah. Now this song right here is one of my favorites.
This is my favorite, but it was just like it resonated with me still, no matter like how heartbroken I was or how much like I just didn't want to believe in love. I still felt like, dang, like if someone came my way, like and like if it felt real, I would give it another try. So it took like months for me to finally finish that song.
Okay, great. And I guess it was just waiting for the perfect moment, as I always say. Like sometimes you can't force it, you gotta sometimes let it come to you. And I mean, the song speaks for itself or whatever. It obviously worked out, so I really
Well, thank you.
Heck yeah. Well, Another Try, awesome. Well, would you like to make any last comments on it before we go to the next song?
No. I mean, love is Another Try. I'm going to give love another try, period.
I love that. I needed that right now. I needed to hear that. All right, well, thank you so much, Zeke. So I believe the next song we're going to be listening to is called Love Theme?
Love's Theme, yeah.
Love's Theme. All right, cool. Well, before we see you perform it, do you want to give us some context about it? Tell us a little bit about it.
So, Kevin, this is going to be like a nerdy little like thing, but communication is all about just getting things off of my chest. And this year I've learned a lot about myself and accepted a lot of things about myself as well. And Love's Theme is inspired by my parents because we don't always see eye to eye. But one thing I do know is that they like love me truly. And they've always said like, are you walking in love? I've always like been when someone does me wrong, I'm just like, ugh. Like I was like, I hate you forever.
Yeah.
And I'm really working on that. And that's what communication was for me, was like letting go of like a specific, thing that I had been holding on for a really long time. And so Love's Theme is the last song, and it's really just like the theme of where I am now, where it's just like I'm letting go of my baggage, I'm letting go of everything, and I do believe in love, and I believe that love can heal anything. And so yeah, that's Love's Theme.
Ooh, man. All right, well, as I cry or whatever, let's go ahead and take out Love's Theme, all right? Let's check this out real quick.
Yeah, this is Love's Theme. There's a reason we complicate it, 'cause we have our own envision of love, and I hate to say it. We're blinded by control and hurt by treason. When there's so many things in the world we just don't know. But I know love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is the reason for everything. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is the reason we still remain. If it doesn't feel like love, I tend to run away. But what does that say about me and the things that seem to attract to me? Holding on to things that I can't change. I gotta let go of all my rage. I'm knowing that trouble won't last away. Let's talk about it, communicate about it. Cause all this baggage I just won't claim. And lately I ain't looked no further. Cause everything I want is right in front of me. Oh, yeah. Love is the way. Is the reason for everything. Yeah. Love is the reason we still remain, yeah. Whoa, whoa. So every time I would like get angry or mad or like be hateful, my mom used to always tell me this one simple thing. So I'm teaching it to you. Walking and walking and walking in it. Walking and walking and walking in it. Walking and walking and walking in it. Are you walking and walking in it? Walking and walking and walking. Walking, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Oh, so sometimes I hold on a little too tight to my grudges, ego, and pride. I'm taking my time, God knows that I'm trying. So when in doubt, I know that there is love all around. I'm finding it all in community. I'm living in life and love feels so free. Yeah. Walking and walking and walking. Everybody walking, yeah. Oh. Are you walking? Oh. Are you walking? Are you walking? Yeah. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is the reason we still remain. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is love in every way.
Oh my gosh, Zeke! Your music is amazing. I'm gonna be bleeding horribly after this. All right, that was absolutely great and fantastic. And tell me, so Love Steam, you gave us some context about it and whatnot. And is this a song that you frequently perform live and whatnot?
No, it's new. So it's new. Like it's new. I think this was the last record.
Conversations with Aaron exclusive.
Yes. So it's the last song that I wrote for the album. It literally took like 2 days to really finish. Mm-hmm. And I love performing it. I performed it for the first time at the communication ball that I just put on. And I just love the reception of it. And I feel like I'm always going to perform this song because it means a lot to me.
Nice.
But yeah, I can't wait to have a freaking live band with it. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Here at the Grammys to perform Zeke Forever.
Oh, I will take it. I will claim it.
I love it. And so tell me, so you said rather curiously this took you how many days? Like 2 days to get out?
It took me like 2 days. I wanted to have like some guitarist, like a guitarist on it, but it didn't work out completely, which is totally fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was just really heavy on my heart to just be like, this is the perfect way to like end the album and just say like, hey, from now on, like I am not holding on. I am not watering myself down. I'm not selling myself short. But also, I am getting rid of my ego, or at least trying to get rid of my ego, trying to get rid of...
A little bit of ego is okay, I think.
Well, okay. So, like, I am very, very prideful. I'm a very prideful person. I do not like for help. Like, I don't ask for help a lot of the time. Yeah. And so this is just like that is baggage that I won't claim anymore. Like, I won't claim to be like, oh, I'm like all of this, all of that, because I am realizing that I'm not perfect. And also I am me because I'm willing and able. And with that being said, like, I have to love myself in order to love on people, and I can't not be myself completely if I don't love myself. So, it's just like it was like a healing thing, and it took like 2 days to finish, and it's a bop.
Yeah, no, it really is. And so is it safe to say, because, I know another try, well, I know you said that was a couple of months, but that was because, you sort of, you kind of just strayed away from it, like emotionally or whatever, so you didn't want to revisit it. I just want to ask, like, is 2 days, like, considered short for you, or is that about, like, average,
No,
can you say? Because to me, that sounds like very rapid.
That's very short.
Very short.
Very short. I had already finished the album.
Okay.
Like, whenever I started working on Love Steam, I was like, oh, this has to be on it. Because
what about it spoke to you that you needed, just because it was a bop, or like thematically that it makes sense?
Honestly, it was because that's where, like, nerdy, like nerd. The album,
you see, you're talking to the nerdiest.
No. So communication starts off like really angry and really rough, and just like very like I just hate everyone, basically. And that's how I was feeling. And so to hear the beginning of like The Dumbest Mistake, which is just about like holding on to something and trying to let go when it's hard, to Love, or to No Limit, which is just about like, literally like my favorite lyric is I am me because I'm willing and able. It was cool. And then I was listening to the album and I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna like upload it. And then I like wrote Love's theme, and it's actually like, it's based around also like DFW, like local artists, and like me getting into the music scene, and like not being like, I am very different, obviously, and that's fine. Yeah. And I was very insecure about that, and I was very scared that like it was not going to be well received, and it was like Denton has like a crazy local scene, and everyone is so sweet, everyone is so loving, and so like writing that song was just like, oh my God, like I'm feeling myself, number one, like I love what I'm doing, I love what I make, and on top of that, I have love surrounded like by me, and community is like everything to me. Yeah. And so it just had to be on the album, like it just had to be.
I love it, and that's it's the best way to look at it sometimes, not like from some mechanical structure, like I have X amount of songs, therefore like you're feeling it. I think that's absolutely great, and it comes out on the song. So I want to ask you about your performance of this. I saw, and this is the first time I've heard it or ever, Love's theme, so it's great. And so when you're performing it, okay, I'm gonna edit this out if I get it wrong or whatever, so I apologize. Am I right in saying that like while you're performing it, I think it was a song, like there seemed to be a part where it seemed like you were speaking, like not necessarily. Oh, I got it right. Okay.
yes, you're absolutely correct.
Okay, great. Tell me about that. What inspired you to do that?
So
I need some water. I was so nervous I was gonna get that wrong.
So like I said, my mom and my dad, like, and it's been passed on, like my grandma used to tell my mom, and then my mom and my like grandma taught my dad, and then my dad and my mom taught me and my sister. And it was always just like walk in love, like no matter what like anyone does for you or does to you, like there's no reason to like hold all of that. Just walk in love. And for a long time, because I was hella bratty, I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. Like I held on to hate and grudges like nobody's business. Yeah. And I loved it. Like that was something that I was like actually like really proud of for some reason. And I realized that that was a lot of the reasons why like not saying that like my life was just like heavy, but I was so busy holding on to that I couldn't get to my real self. That sounds like so corny, but it's true. It's all good. Like I had to get past all of like these like random traumas that I had in order to become a better person. And also like I didn't want to not learn from mistakes. I didn't want to just keep repeating a cycle of, oh, this person did me wrong, so I hate them. Oh, this person did me wrong, I hate them. And so it really resonated with me because like even like my parents, we are so close now, because a lot of the things that we've been through as a family, like we had to get over it. And now that we're over it, like we're great. Like my parents are super supportive, which I like, not saying I didn't in a million years think that it was gonna happen, but we were just like always bumping heads.
Yeah, that happened.
And so that was just kind of like my ode to them too. Like I just feel love all around.
Dang.
And that's what I want to like, I want my energy to kind of like push back to people to just love.
Yeah, and I really love it. No, it's so great. I love that with these songs, you know, even the third one, which we'll hear in a little bit, like you're really trying to like speak to the audience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're entertaining them, you know, because, you know, I love the way you move on stage and whatnot. But I just really find that poignant that you're maybe not necessarily like putting a message out there per se, like do this, but you know, you're just trying to spread positivity.
The message is like, no, we aren't enemies. Like we, like community and community and unity is the only way. And I feel like because I isolated myself so long because I was just like, oh, I hate everyone, that it took me a long time to realize that. But my heart, this is so corny too, my heart has opened up because of the people that I have around me. Nice. And I am very protective of my energy now. So like, you have to bring not that you have to bring like something to the table, but you have to bring love. That is the least you can do to be around me. And so, yeah, and I feel like everyone should, you know, do that. And community is the only real way.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. The show needed some positive. No, I absolutely love that one. Love Steam, an absolute bop. And yeah, I can't. So you said like you haven't performed it live. It's still like new, right? So
yeah.
Once you perform it live, it's gonna be encore. Love Steam. They just like list your entire discography. Well, great. Well, before we move on to the next tune, do you want to give some final words or comments on Love Steam?
Listen to it, stream it everywhere. Stream it everywhere. Stream the album. It's everywhere out right now. So
heck yeah, they will. Thank you so much. Love Steam is amazing. And now we're on to our third and final song called Not Your Enemy, correct?
Yes.
Ooh, all right.
I love that record.
Heck yeah. Well, before we jump into it, want to tell us a little bit about it? Want to fill us in? How is this another new song, or is it
Yes,
older?
so it's all of these are off of my new album, Communication. Not Your Enemy is such a special track. First of all, it's my dad's favorite song, so like that warms my heart because he's like every time I call him, he's singing it, which is so interesting. Not Your Enemy came because I was in a very lonely part in my life, and I felt very misunderstood as I did like in the beginning of writing this album. And I really just wanted people to know that like, I'm just here to dance. I'm just here, like that's my slogan is I'm here to make you move, to make you groove, and to make you feel golden.
Ooh.
And
you get that trademark, that's a good
that's what I say every show. I'm like, hi, my name is Zeke Forever, and I'm here to make you move, groove, and make you feel golden. And I'm like, listen to me. If I tell you to put your hands together, you're gonna. But it's fine. It's fine.
Kanye West telling that person in the wheelchair to stand up, like, "Oh my bad."
But I wanted people to know that like all I'm here to do is to dance and to make you feel good. And Not Your Enemy is just the perfect like moment that captures that, and I love that song so much, so much.
Heck yeah. Well, it certainly worked for us and crew members. We're really vibing to it. So thank you so much. I can't wait for the audience to see it. Let's go ahead and check out Not Your Enemy.
Let's talk about it. It's a feeling that I can't deny. A boom supersonic. It's so intoxicating. You're the reason why. Oh, I'm about to lose control. I gotta hit the flow. 'Cause you're making me move like there's something to prove. Bring that 1983 kind of energy and come closer to me. No, I'm not your enemy. No, you hypnotize me. It's the sweetest thing I've ever known. If I had the time, I'd give it all to you. No questions about it. If the feeling is strong, no, it can't be wrong. Ooh, yeah. 'Cause you're making me move like there's something to prove. Bring that 1983 kind of energy. Come closer to me. No, I'm not your enemy. No, yeah. Whoa. No, oh no, I'm not your enemy. No. Come on. Hey, no, I'm not your enemy. 'Cause you're making me move like there's something to prove, yeah. Come closer to me, no, I'm not your enemy. No, yeah. Oh, I'm not your enemy. Yeah. I'm not yours. Yeah. Come on. Hey. No, I'm not your enemy. Whoa. No. Yeah. No, I'm not your enemy.
All right, not your enemy. Goodness gracious, all three of these songs are absolutely amazing. I love
Thank you so much.
your performance.
You're so kind.
Yeah, of course. Big old red thing on my cheek. No, just so great. Your performance is so lively. And just tell us a little bit about this. First, I want to ask this. This was like,
Okay.
I put significance of 1983.
Oh, okay. So the night that I wrote this, it was like right after the pandemic, and I was like, I want to go clubbing, I want to go dancing, and we went to Fry Street, which I love Fry Street. Go off.
Hey.
But it was like whack that night, and nobody was dancing, and it was like we were all kind of like in our own bubble, and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to ever want to do this again. And so I ended up going home, and like later that like weekend, I watched this like Rick James performance, and it was I can't remember what song it was, but it was like dated in 1983, and the energy there was so cool. Everyone was dancing with each other. It was like everyone was just living in the moment, not on their phones. We were just dancing, chilling, and I feel like I was born in the wrong century. Or the wrong time.
Wrong
I
decade.
wish I was around when like Michael Jackson was around. And I feel like with this record, I wanted to make sure that people like felt that. Like when you listen to Not Your Enemy, or at least I hope when you listen to Not Your Enemy, you're not really necessarily, it doesn't have a lot of lyrics. It doesn't have a lot of like, it has a lot of movement. But it's because I want you to move. I want you to groove. I want you to just like find someone that you've never met before and just be like, oh, I love you, let's dance. Because that's what it's all about. That's what music is for me. And 1983, I just wish I could like be there, you know. So that's what that's about.
Yeah, I love the poignancy behind that. And Michael Jackson, R.I.P. They're not here, but that's where Zeke comes in. You know, you'll be the artist. Like
I hope so. I hope so.
Shaking while you're doing that. No, it's obviously great, and you mentioning the, what you wanted to do, like get people up and grooving. It's very reflective in lyrics. Got to hit the floor, lose control, hit the floor, that sort of thing. And I want to ask about the bass line that's introduced. Like once it gets into that, like how did that happen? Who's playing it? Is that an actual bass?
It's a loop. It's a loop that I found on Splice.
It's a great loop.
It's literally in like the soul and R&B Wonderland pack. If y'all are like interested,
buy one get one free.
No, but like for real. That bass line, like everything about that song was just like, it just happened. That's another song where it was just like I was just in my room one day and just like grooving. There's like an extended, like the original song that I had made is like 7 minutes long. And I cut it down because I'm like, I would hope that you would dance for 7 minutes, but also let's get realistic.
Yeah. Someone's gonna make that, like, you know, on YouTube you'll see like those 2-hour loops of popular songs.
But also, like, I am so down to like I really want to like release a 12-inch of it, just to kind of like represent like the era that I kind of like am obsessed with or was obsessed with at the time.
That'd be a great idea. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, that bass line is crazy. I just added a little crunch to it. It just needed a little bit more crunch, but
yeah, because when it kicks in, because this was the first song I listened to, because you're like, hey, I'll be performing these. All right, put that in, had my little headphones or whatever. Granted, not the best headphones, but when that bass kicked, I was like, it was just so great.
Yay!
So I want to ask about that, like the instrumentation. So you said this was kind of like a sound pack that you kind of got. So because I noticed, obviously, aside from the instrumentation itself, there seems to be, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, a sound of like maybe a tambourine or some percussive instrument towards the end. Is that all just like sound?
Well, okay, so like I play the tambourine. That's like one of my favorite things to do.
Nice.
And so yes, every song that's like a dance track that I make is gonna have a tambourine on it.
Tambourine, okay.
Which is crazy, but I love it.
Nice, I loved it too. That was really great. And so talking about, you know, gotta hit the floor, you know, whoa, I'm not your enemy. But so, you know, yes, you said like, you know, this song is like sparse when it comes to lyrics or whatever. There is repetition, whatnot, but it's like the perfect amount of every repetition you do and whatnot. So I want to ask, like, is that just something you feel, or are you consciously like, okay, if this is the outro, I need to sing this line like 8 times or 4 times? Like, are you just feeling it? Like, how was that coming
so about? So I will say this song took like 7 months to like finally like finish.
Yeah.
And it's because I was like, I want it to be like, it's never ending fun. So like in the beginning, there's only like synth and bass, and then like the second verse, there's like extra verses or like extra vocals, and then like it's just like I wanted to keep it moving and not feel like, oh, I just heard this. Like even though it's very repetitive. Ooh, wow, I just like spit everywhere.
I didn't even notice.
Even though COVID. Just kidding, I don't have COVID, y'all. With every step that I took on that song, I wanted to just feel like, oh, like I'm up and grooving still. And that's how I feel like music was done. Like if you listen to like Rick James or like Guy, which is like another boy band that's like based in like the 90s. Nice. And Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, a lot of the stuff was like repetitive, but it was a lot of movement. It was a lot of, you know, live instrumentation, a lot of backing vocals and a lot of harmonies, and that's really what I was just like trying to go with for this record.
Yeah, okay, great. I really love it. And you mentioned, you know, because you're saying bass and synth, and then, you know, an additional vocal track, and that is something I noticed. I think it's prevalent in the other 2 songs as well. But with this, like, you know, it's the pre-chorus, and then you hear like an overlap where your vocals are starting, then another track comes on top. And so when you do things like that, is that like all the same session? I know you said the song took like 7 months to make. Is it like you have a vocal track and then you're, you know, a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later, you add a second, or how does that work out?
So like it's weird. Like I just do as much as I can like creatively at the time. Okay. And then like for me, my process is like I'll try to get everything down, I'll get the idea, and then I'll like sit on it. So like I'll play it on the car, like in the car, or I'll play it at work and like just listen to it in my earphones, and then I'll go home and just be like, oh, okay, this is what I can do, or I can change this lyrics. Like there were so many lyric changes on this song in particular because I wanted to like catch the essence of just like a disco, like a old-fashioned party.
Successfully, I may add.
Well,
like
thank you. It like I said, I will say that this is like obviously it's the, well, not obviously, but it's the first single on Communication, because I felt like this is something that is going to like, it's for, at least for me, like even when I record it, like listen to it, I'm like, oh, I did that. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. And so I'm just really proud of that record, and yeah.
No, Not Your Enemy is absolutely great. And I want to ask, so on Spotify, which is where I listen to it, it had lyrics as I was looking at those. I was like, oh, I can find the lyrics or whatever. And it's Keenan?
Yes, Keenan.
Yeah.
So
significance
that's my real name, and also it's kind
Oh,
of.
I'm sorry if I revealed something
No,
that wasn't
no,
supposed to.
you're totally fine. So like the reason why it's there, and it ended up like it's now like kind of like my tag or whatever.
Okay.
But originally when I recorded that song, it was kind of like a song to me too. Like I was going, like I said, like in the beginning of like even making this album, I was felt very alone and just trying to figure myself out. And so like I am not my own enemy as well. I'm very hard on myself, very insecure sometimes. And so this record is also like a reminder to myself that like, oh, I'm not my enemy.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to have a good time, and like everything that I want to go for, I can have it. I just have to like put my mind to it. So that's why it's that's why it's there.
I love it. I just love how compact these songs are. Just not just the music itself, which is obviously amazing. That's a given already. But now just again the poignancy behind this, because like sometimes you can hear your song, this one, people dance to it or whatever, but maybe they're not like paying attention to the actual meaning behind it. And I love that you're putting so much behind that. I think it just makes it all.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Now Your Enemy, an absolutely great author. These are absolutely great. But any final comments on this particular tune?
Stream it.
Stream
it and dance like with someone that I mean, obviously that is kind of weird, but dance with someone, like go to the club and dance with someone you never met. You might meet someone like really cool.
Heck yeah, why not?
And we're not enemies at all.
Yeah,
I think that's like, I'll probably just like nerd out for a second, but I think that's like also would help a lot in the world. I do believe that a lot of this that's like going on in the world is so annoying because like, I am only me, I can only control the things that happen in my life and the things that I want to happen in my life. And I feel like a lot of the times we're so busy, even like in Love's theme, I say like we're so busy trying to like take control and we're hurt by treason. This is the same with like Not Your Enemy. Like just dance, have a good time, live your life and accept others. And that's it.
Well, another Try Love's theme, Not Your Enemy, absolutely great song. Three among a bunch of others that are all bops. I love it. Love all these songs. I love getting to talk to you, meeting you.
I love you so much.
Yeah, love you, dude. And you're so talented. I'm just so great to see you at this point in your career or whatnot, because it's just, I met you at like the perfect time.
Please help me get out of Denton.
You're right.
Please.
Click this link to donate. No, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Zeke, for coming on. I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Yes,
do you want to give any closing comments to the audience before we go?
Communication is out everywhere. If you go on Bandcamp, the album is literally free, so download it for free and it'll send to your email.
They're like, say less, free?
No, like, honestly, I just want to get my music out there. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. And subscribe.
Ooh, yeah.
Subscribe.
Hey,
drop a like
down below.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Zeke, and thanks again for coming. And all right, y'all, it's going to be it for this episode. We'll see y'all next week. Bye. Killed it.
Cool.
So well spoken.
Cool.